I've never seen an airbender.
Look, if you say I'm supposed to be dead, this is not going to go well for you.
Greetings.
You found both parts, so I was right after all. Please, take this copper as a reward.
No reward is
Goodbye.
necessary. I got a soul band. I don't know what that means.
Flowers for your loved ones.
Momo? Let's just all stand around and stare at Momo while Momo does his thing, and that will be the new Avatar: The Last Airbender. I would love a series, just like an April Fool's series by the creators called Momo the Airbender.
Appa!
And they can have full creative licensing over what they do with it, but I just want that.
She was running out of cities to trade with.
I would love to just see what they think airbending Momo would get up to.
Come back, loser. You won't win again.
Excuse you? Who do you think you is? They did something with Appa and Samurai, or Appa and Momo as samurais, right? Yeah, they did that in the one where Aang couldn't get any sleep. And they had to, like, make him a bed out of sheep. Or something like that. They totally did that. And it was fantastic and wonderful, and I loved it. But I just want a comic where we see what Momo gets up to on his day off. Bad dream. For Aang, definitely. For the rest of us, no, it was perfect. Go, little Momo. Okay, we got more cats. I don't know why the cats... I don't know why the cats would want to attack us to begin with. Okay, bandits. Anything else? This place is so huge. Like, I'm getting, like, a little bit lost. Oh, I found the mail center. Hey! Okay, maybe I should open a map. Okay. Where's the direction south of the... You know what? I'll deal with that later. Let's go back to the library. No. No. Bad kitties. We don't eat strangers. It's not how you prolong your life. Ask these bandits. If I could just sit here and spam the AoE, like that would be great. But no. I wonder what... Like, the real question should be, what kind of bending would we want to see from Appa that wasn't airbending? Like, I definitely love the fan comic of someone giving, specifically Aang, giving Sokka firebending. I know it was based on a Tumblr post, but... Did everyone else get healed but me? Katara. Katara, honey. Don't just forget to heal me. It's kind of important sometimes. There we go. They're all dead. Earth for Appa for sure. I think it'd be interesting. Though, okay. Food for thought. Because this, as an idea, would be way more complex than, like, the joke I was starting to go for, but we all know that Appa's now afraid of fire after his experience in Ba Sing Se. What do we think would happen if Appa suddenly, like, woke up and could firebend one day. Like, how well do we think he would be able to mentally handle that?
I'll just wait here.
Like, especially because if, you can't control the fire bending, it gets worse, right? So if Appa starts panicking because he can produce fire... Like, now that I'm sitting here saying that we need to have, like, a whole psychological thing about, like, what a person would go through now finding themselves having something in common with their abuser, but more of, like, how do we think Appa, as an animal who is way more sentient than he has any right to be, would handle it? Just like, throwing out ideas, literally. Because I'd be curious, right? Man. No way Appa would be able to pull that off. Not comfortably, no. I could totally see him accidentally setting, like, a forest on fire. Just panicking. You're not Earthbending Masters. Begone, sir. Begone. Yes, sir, going now. Okay, I'm in. I just pressed circle and apparently just snuck by everybody. Oh, I see. How'd you get in here? I suggest you leave immediately. Sure. Bringing up Sokka being able to bend. Okay, so I think if Sokka could bend, yeah, I think air as an element would really, like, make his boomerang way more deadly than it has any right to be. That being said, I also think it'd be interesting to see him accidentally launch himself practically into space by sneezing. At some point, because I'm also trying to think of, like, what element would give us the most comedic Sokka. And I think either fire or air would be the ones for that. Oh my god. Yeah, especially between, like, once he figured it out, he'd be way more lethal. Keep sneaking, keep sneaking. Okay, hold out. Wait for it to build back up. And they weren't even aware. Alright. Minimite. Seriously? You sent me all the way in here to figure out this shrinking crystal is called Minimite? Minimite. Alright, whatever. Ooh. I don't know how I did not get caught for that. Oh, God, no. No, go around the... Oh, no. Okay, just wait. No, move. Move. Oh. I see, that was because you'd be afraid that you would break that and then they would come running, except they didn't. Because these guys are blind. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Woo! Glad that worked out. That reminds me as well, I also, there's a YouTuber called Savage Books that I've been checking out more recently. I have for some years, but I just decided to listen to more of his perspective lately. And he's a published author that likes to talk about, like, what certain stories do well. And one of the things that he brought up was, like, imagine the kind of world that you would have been in if you had to, if you were in the Fire Nation and you had someone like Kyoshi who is famous for being ruthless, and you're waiting for your turn to, like, have an avatar, right? Because she lived for 230 years. Right, so can you imagine, like, what your brain processes, like, as a royal family member whose father was afraid of Kiyoshi coming on his door, whose his father had to deal with Kiyoshi?
Machines. Katara, you take the shelves on the left, Aang, you take the right, and...
Whoa!
Or we could try the huge, obvious stone tablet in the center of the room.
It seems to be a record of battles. Battles involving benders and the machines.
Why would that
Let
be
me
here?
Are these battles? They almost look like training sequences to me. Whoa!
How are we supposed to tell what any of this means?
This library is for master benders, Sokka. You know, smart people.
Whoa.
I'm smart.
Yeah,
this
he's
island
smart.
thing?
No. But I'll bet Boomy does.
Fair enough. And now I'm outside of it. Kiyoshi wasn't exactly a conqueror, but she just would not put up with anyone being a conqueror. The Avatar was supposed to be peaceful, so why would they be so afraid? Because of people like Chin the Conqueror, right? Kiyoshi had no qualms about threatening to kill people. She knew that she had to do what needed to be done, and she kept peace in her way for 230 years. If you think about Chin the Conqueror falling to his death, if you're thinking about a day and age in which word is traveling by word of mouth. Oh, there we go. We found a map. We're taking it back to Boomy. There it is. So, like, while Kiyoshi herself as a person was actually a kind and loving and sweet person, she had no qualms about having to kill anybody. And that's exactly what caused people to be so afraid, is, like, if you have someone who is so powerful as Kiyoshi, a woman that literally split a continent in half, created a whole new island, and killed a conqueror, all at the same time, being the person to keep somebody of power in check so that you don't fall out of line, that sets a precedent for the power level of an avatar. And obviously,
It's good to have you
whatever...
on our side, Aang.
Great, thanks, Katara. But it's... Because I know I'm butchering the whole thought, but, like, she is a big, terrifying powerhouse. There is a belief that she is going to rule more favorably in an Earth Kingdom, but she is just terrifying all world leaders. If you step out of line, Kiyoshi will show up at your door and beat the snot out of you. And she will not have mercy on you. So now imagine growing up as a young, like, fire prince, in this case, and being told by your father that, like, hey, you have to be, a ruler who is kind and gracious and nice, or else Kiyoshi will come and attack you in the middle of the night. She will take you out. She will have no remorse. She'll, completely wipe you off the face of the planet, like everything. And know that he got told that same story by his father, and that you'll probably tell it to your son. Like that kind of a concept. And then when Kiyoshi passes, the next person in line, because, at that point, the Fire Nation would be, like, getting kind of jumpy for somebody else that is like them or like-minded to be in power. That's why they jumped at Avatar Roku so quickly, was because they wanted to have someone of that power and that caliber on the side of the new empire that they were building. Ow. So if anything, they were probably terrified of the power of the Avatar, as people are afraid of things they don't understand.
Hey, watch it!
Especially if it's a power they can't control.
Maybe I'll try.
Hey!
Yeah, things being passed around by word of mouth changes things, but I feel like Avatar World understands that the role that the Avatar plays is maintaining peace, and Chin the Conqueror has a world to conquer in his own name. I definitely would agree with that. The only reason I'm saying it is just think about Avatar, or not Avatar, think about Sozin right, as a kid, being the first Fire Lord in 230 years that didn't have to worry about Avatar Kyoshi coming to get him like the boogeyman. And think about why, and now also simultaneously believing that the boogeyman is on your side. That would probably make you more emboldened to take more risks that you normally wouldn't have as a leader, because you think that he's on your side, especially if he's, you know, friends with the Avatar. Now, I'm not saying that that necessarily is like... Because I do agree that Kyoshi was definitely a very super peaceful person, but yeah, think about it from that perspective as to how we suddenly got the 100-Year War. Ow. Yeah, you see where it's clicking a little more? Like I said, I know I was like butchering the thought because the guy in question that I was watching really was like breaking it down a little bit better. But just imagine like yourself from that perspective. Oh, here we go. And it suddenly contextualizes that 100-Year War. Yeah, when she was gone, definitely went full force. Yep. And that's exactly why, is because they didn't have the boogeyman to be afraid of anymore. That people could have exaggerated the stories of what she was like, but the unexaggerated stories of what Kyoshi was like were still terrifying. I don't even know what's over here. Neat. And that's also why, as well, strongest, oldest living, tallest, like everything. But that's also why they were so quick to take out the entire aeronomads rather than focus on like trying to... What? Oh, I see. Rather than focus on like trying to negotiate with them, create peace or anything like that. That's why they went straight to the war option. Was because they were afraid of having another Kyoshi. That's why Sozin became so fixated on killing the Avatar, and that's also why Sozin said, you know, before he doomed Roku, said, "Without you, all of my plans become possible." Oh yeah, she was absolutely a legend. I have to still read the books. I don't know if you're too familiar, but there are like books about the rise of Kyoshi as the Avatar. And then they also started making books about Yang Chen as well. And those ones I definitely have to read at some point because Yang Chen gives us a perspective into an air nation that's in its prime still. And by in its prime, I mean not practically wiped off the face of the planet. So I'm more interested in the world building I'll get from Yang Chen, but I want to read about Kyoshi destroying everybody. I have the Kyoshi books. I don't have the Yang Chen ones, but those are on my list. Boom. Yeah. I think we got everything. Can I go back down now? I have to go tell that woman about the crystal or something. Okay, so we're down one more. I think... Come on. Okay. It's hard to tell whether or not he's blocking or whether he's dying. And that has been my experience with it. No, you're leaving me alone. I refuse. Oh, I think that time they did. I think that time they actually left me alone. I'll be. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just running all around. Nobody mind me. Got a whole bunch of bandits nobody's gonna see. Ow. Look, I can't dodge, I can block. And that is all I can do. Thanks, Katara. Yeah. Well, at least we're almost back. The respawn of these guys is quick.
I'm too drained.
Sokka, you're fine. What was that? Panda charm or a what amulet? Hold on, guy coming to attack me. I have something I gotta take care of. Oh, life bender necklace. I would get rid. It's fine. I need it for the set. So then where is... Oh, I see. So the less gives me more. Okay. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Chi, health, armor. Oh, okay, we can drop that one. This is the one I want. No! Why won't it let me pick that up? Oh. Did I get it? No, I picked back up the heavenly robe. And...
I'm too worn out.
Excuse me, good bandit. We have to go find someone to sell all of our stuff to. That is a weird angle for that house to be on. That's fine. Just keep going. Hang.
You need more practice.
There we go. At least we got some leather strips, I guess. No. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I think there's a shop somewhere over here.
If everyone worked together.
But I don't remember.
Give you a game of serpents and pillars later. Why bother?
Serpents and pillars?
Flowers for your loved ones.
Can I?
Greetings.
I'd like to buy something. Oh. Alright, so that one we can go ahead and sell. That one we could go ahead and sell. Yeah, I should go back through everything. Sell. Sell. I have just so much stuff. I don't know. Okay, that can go. Cloud ring we're keeping. I don't know. Can I just expand my inventory or something instead? Okay, I think we're good. Have you gotten into the avatar state in this game yet? No. And I'm not 100% sure that I can. The only reason I say it like that is because... Here, hold on, let me back out. So if I look at my moves for Aang, Avatar, Master of all 4 elements, the only moves that I have or will ever get are all Airbender moves. I do not ever get any water bending moves. I don't get any earth bending moves. I don't get anything moves, even though this is after the Northern Water Tribe and the siege of the Northern Water Tribe. Right, thank you. Sokka's at least, like, makes sense. Annihilate. Can I... Oh. Doesn't let me assign that one yet, but it's coming up. I see. Obviously, Haru, nothing but earthbending. And then Katara at least has ice and healing and... Yeah. Like, at least that stuff makes sense. But yep. Nope, everybody else... They get nothing.
The day seems so long here.
I'm gonna go back and see if there's any,
It's terrible what the Fire Nation is doing. Just terrible.
That was phoned in, 100%. We're gonna run back over here and see if there's any hidden chests or anything.
I say throw those ruffians outside the city and let the Fire Nation deal with them.
Okay. Are they treating Omashu like it's Ba Sing Se?
Say this is the greatest city of all.
I'm currently confused.
I missed the village where I did my earthbending training.
Still very confused. No, bad kitties. Stay away. I'm following other paths. Let's just send Momo. I just want to see if there's any more, pumpkins. It's somewhere over here. Where is it? No? There it is. I still got 3 more left. I think the closest I get to the Avatar state is being Momo. Personal opinion.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, leveled up. Yay!
Stable masters designed a new saddle? Really?
Sorry, kitties. Okay, I don't think they actually attack. It's fine. They'll be fine. I think. What is over here? Where am I? Besides confused. Any other, We are going the right direction. Oh yeah, we're going over here.
Okay, let's go.
Oh yeah, no. Excuse me, kitties. We found him. We found him. After all this time. He's here. No, move. I don't want you guys. Okay, just let him backtrack. Go back to their leash. Hello there, can I interest you in some fat, juicy cabbages? But no voice acting? No thanks. Aw, they don't even let me destroy his cabbages. No. Man. I'm just a simple person with simple desires. And it's to hear the cabbage guy yell my cabbages in the Avatar game. Is that too much to ask for at this point? My cabbages! No lie, I have the Funko Pop for him. Like, I have him and his cart as a Funko Pop. 10 out of 10. It was great. I got it hanging, like, somewhere downstairs. I have it hanging up. Love it. I have most of the rest of the Avatar cast as well in Funko Pop form, too. It's called Minimite. That's it. Oh, thank you. It was really beginning to annoy me. You're welcome.
Bye.
I did this all because it annoyed you? What the heck is Purity Hat? What? That's pretty good. I'll give it to you. That one's pretty good. Let's see. Anything else that anyone else here could probably use? Let's go back to here first. Okay, so it'd be the necklaces at this point. Oh, no. Necklaces. Oh god, that'd be minus 31 chi. I couldn't bring myself. Not by a long shot. Alright. Sokka, your turn. No. Badger. And that would just be so much armor. To be lost. I just couldn't. Okay, Soul Ring, that's better. Thanks, Nightbot. Wish I could just, like, put stuff in hold or something. Let's see. Sun Headband, no. Alright, so most of those were a flop. Okay, I don't think that there is anything... You know, the renewal headdress would be better to keep. Yeah. Oh man, those would provide chi regen. Oh. Okay, so none of the rest of those. The core stuff is all for Haru. Nah. If only I could put chi regen on somebody. But nope. Okay, so none of the headpieces. Their robe would be better. Sun boots. Eh. Yeah, no. Though the health leech would probably be good. It just doesn't give me enough armor. Alright, but at least I looked through everything I have.
Earthbend the wall of the bathing house.
I devil dare you.
See, look, there they go talking about bending bathing house walls again. Let me save it. Alright. Let's say you're the Avatar and you can pick 4 members from the Aang and Korra series. Who would you pick to be part of your journey? Ooh, that's a good question. Do they have to be my instructors for each element? And also, do I get to pick what element I start with? Because I would want Asami actually to be part of, like, my team, even though she can't do any bending, because I think she would be, like, I think she would be a genius to have. Like, she's the tactician that I would want. No, just companions? Okay. So the element I would start with would be water bending. I'm at heart more an airbender, but at mind I'm more a waterbender. So I want Asami on my team as my tactician. I think she'd be good at it. I'd have to go Toph. Like, there's no way that you could just not pick Toph. She and I would butt heads, but it'd be great. Let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I would want Tenzin, but younger Tenzin. Not like teenager, but I'm thinking like just like before he had kids. And
I'm honored to be traveling
Iroh.
with the Avatar.
I know that seems like a weird set of people, but I feel like in order to be a good leader, you need to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you. In my opinion. And I feel like, right, that would be one strong crew. And can you imagine if someone tried to, like, come at us, like, as a unit? That would, yeah, we don't need Kyoshi. We just have an incredible team. Yeah, we found a hidden island. Is it hidden, or did you find it? Or are you trying to confuse me? It won't work. Look, we don't know where it is. There would be no show. I would love to see the challenge. I would love to see the challenge that each of, like the people would be able to come up with that would be, like, going against, right? And I feel like for a villain that we would have to go against, I would like to see Zahir be one of the villains we would go against, especially if we have younger Tenzin. Like, awakened Zahir, but, you know, like, let him have his airbending. But I want to see, like, I want to see an in-depth experience with these, like, master tacticians around him and, you know, wise people watching Tenzin navigate through what it truly means to be an airbender without the presence of his father nearby, with someone who takes the same teachings that his father meant so much to him and that also means as much to him as he does, warp them horribly. I want to see, like, what kind of a microcosm that would kind of create. Like, I'm more personally invested in the kinds of characters that would cause a massive internal, like, decimation for each of the members of the party than I am about, like, what kind of thing that they could do. Right? We don't need massive spirit lasers or whatever. But just the kind of, like the danger of Amon wasn't so much that he could just take away your bending. It is, and that's terrifying. Especially to someone whose bending meant the world to them. But also the fact that he got so many people to agree with him was terrifying. So, like, you know, there are ways to do it that's not just a grandiose show of power. Because the whole point of taking Amon down was, like, showing to everyone that he could bend. No, Mr. Combustion Man. I would love to see... No, that would be too quick. But I would love to see Iroh go up against Combustion Man. I want to see what Iroh would think. Like, how Iroh would think to take him down besides just hit the spot on his head. Like, I'm sure he'd come up with some, like, Lin level thing, but do we really want to think about him coming up with a concept that would implode a person's brain? Anyway, continuing on with the story. Right? Thank you. Tricky. I may be able to help. I can show you the island, but I'll need some mollifying paste from the Royal Merchant. Where can we find him? He's usually out on business at this time of day, and he'll be back in the market later. Oh, I accidentally hit the button. I sent my stable master to see Appa. He's going to make your bison a new saddle for the journey ahead. Oh, cool. Thanks, Boomy. You'll find him waiting near Appa, but he needs 5 hard leather strips to craft the saddle, so don't forget now. Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no, just in terms of, like... I'm trying to think who I would have to be in opposition. Because, for me, like, if I were crafting an entire original Avatar story, but I get to use the templates of each of these characters, right? I would want to pick people in conflicts that not only just challenge the whole team, but challenge, like, the individual internal struggle of the character the most, and then, like, come up with something really cool that would be an awesome external struggle later. So, whether Toph wants to admit it or not, there is a part of her that is insecure about her inability to see. Like, only when it gets picked on that badly. Oh, no. Oh, God, what happened? Is everything good? Oh, no. Are we good? Yeah, okay. I saw something weird pop up on my end, too. Nothing changed, but I can tell you what I think is happening. It is Saturday at 4 p.m. here. Yeah. It's Saturday at 4 p.m. here, so there's a good chance that a lot of other people are hopping on the internet at the same time, which we did notice does cause some slow for us. We are not on the same internet as these people. We just have the same provider. And also, simultaneously, it is currently... Let me see. How hot is it outside? Oh, tell me I'm wrong. It is 79 degrees outside. We have been streaming for about 3.5 hours. So if I had to guess, I think it might be a good idea to be wrapping up for the sake of my computer's health.
I'm really fighting to stay awake
This
here.
house that I'm currently sitting in has no central air at all. As you can tell by the existence of the fan behind me. Yeah, no, we have no central air at all. It is currently way a lot hot over here. And I think I can feel my brain melting a little. But that's also because we've got, like, no air movement, despite even with the fans currently being on. So yeah, that's what I have to guess is going on. So I think maybe perhaps it is the best idea for us to be wrapping up. But yeah, to finish the thought, though, the kind of person I would want to pit...
If everyone worked together,
Yeah.
do you think we could...
The kind of person I would want to pit Toph up against is someone that she would need to, like, not that she's... You're 52 right now. I wish. But somebody that it would be easier to overcome if she could see, right? So my thought wouldn't necessarily be to, pick, like, somebody super overpowered against her for that. My thought would be just kind of, like, kneecap her a little bit, right? Make something happen to her feet. Not permanently, but, like what happened with Zuko. Have her be, like, blinded for a little bit and have to overcome somebody in a closed fight against specifically that person. Like, she would have to rely on the others around her for help, and I think that that's the thing that Toph struggles with the most. So I want something that would push that to its pinnacle. Yeah, Iroh would really help Toph thrive. And that's the thing, right? Is I would want to build a crew that wouldn't just be an overpowered fighting machine. But I wanted to build a crew that each one would help the other, right? So when it comes to, like, Asami coming to terms with her dad not being the man that she thought that he was, and finding out that he's wrong, I think that her and Tenzin would have a really good dynamic between, like, you know, what does it mean to step into a legacy, and how do you make that legacy your own, especially even if you're not proud of the legacy that it comes from. And I also think at the same time her and Iroh would have some good conversations about that, especially as, like, you know, if we're getting a world that is being, like, post the 100-Year War, what that would mean as well for, like, you know, so I feel like those dynamics would be good. I feel like Asami and Toph would have a good dynamic about, like, being disappointed in your parents but still loving them. Like, you know, I feel like each of those, like, would have, like, a bonding thread of, like, things that would connect them. Iroh would help Toph thrive and learn how to rely on other people the same way that he helped Zuko all these years. I think Asami would help Tenzin define his own existence in a world that doesn't have Aang anymore very well. And, like, what it means to be an airbender and still hold true to all of those other things that you love and cherish about your culture, and what it means to be one of the last pillars of that culture while simultaneously defining yourself. Like, I feel like that would be, and, like, you know, Tenzin and Iroh would have some good conversations about that. So I feel like everyone would have, like, a good connection conversation with each other. I'm just gonna send us somewhere where nobody else is talking, and we'll just, like, look at these. I did pick, like, a really solid, like, good team. Because I was, like, trying to think through both who could teach me the different elements, because I could learn firebending from Iroh, I could learn airbending from Tenzin, I could learn earthbending from Toph. But then also I have a team of great strategists, a team of great benders, a team of just wise people who can provide insight to each other. So that was the logic behind who I picked for who I picked. Although it is very different than, like, okay, I'm just gonna, we're gonna appreciate my my open and honest nature with this. I'm apologizing, by the way, if you guys hear any of the wind in the background. I'm gonna bear my creative previous soul with you all, while we also have the Avatar music still going on in the background. So when Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show, came out back in the mid-2000s, I had a fan fiction for Avatar. But it was a good one. And I'm not talking like, okay, look, my character, my self-insert character, does end up with Zuko. It's fine. It is a self-insert fanfiction. We're just gonna accept all of this. I'm bearing my soul to you guys. I haven't talked about this.
Because I can't bend.
Thanks, Sokka. So here was the story that I used for the fanfiction, because I think the concept is cool. So the concept that I had is that the main character, we're just gonna call her MC, just to go with this.
Hungry.
Thanks, Sokka. So main character was from the Northern Water Tribe. She was on a boat with her parents. They were fishing or something like that, when a particularly really bad storm happened, and the ship, like, crashed in the ocean. Parents are probably dead, and she, you know, gets washed away. Doesn't see them again. She grew up as a little waterbender, but there's only so much you can do against a giant tempest, right? And she wakes up in the Fire Nation. But she's a little bit of an urchin. Similar a little bit to the original. Because I feel like having the storm thing is going to make sense in a minute. So she ends up in the Fire Nation as, you know, just a kid that's a beggar trying to, like, get by, stealing food where she can. And they take pity on her at the Royal Palace. Surprisingly. I don't remember if I had it either be Ursa or if I had it be Ozai, or not Ozai. I think I had it be Ursa. Either Ursa or Iroh took pity on this main character. And the idea was that she was supposed to, like, you know, wait on the royal kids, right? Have it be someone who was, like, similar in age, but also able to, like, kind of keep up with them, you know, that kind of thing. The guise was that she was just going to be working and serving, but at the same time, this was, like, the nicest thing that they could do to offer a small child that they couldn't, like, adopt, right? For one reason or another. Iroh, because he was still going through some stuff with, like, Liu Ten. Ursa, because Ozai would kill the kid. Straight up. And also, Ozai would probably say no. So when it happens that Zuko gets banished, the main character chooses to go with him out of loyalty to Ursa. And, you know, they go on the journey together. This entire time, she's keeping secret that she's a waterbender. And this is where this gets a little dicey, right? Because what the plot that I had going for it is that she is the Avatar, but kind of. That when Aang spent 100 years in the, you know, in the ice sphere, it was seeming like he was never going to get out, so the Avatar spirit was starting to move on. But, like, didn't completely. Right? So she is partially the Avatar, but she's not. Because the world had never experienced an Avatar missing like this for so long. And, like, technically being in a coma. Because that's what Aang was. He was kind of in a coma. So when they go to the Southern Water Tribe to, like, go investigate Aang, and the beam of light goes up into the sky, she firebends for the first time. And rightfully freaks out. Completely. Because she doesn't quite know what to do. She doesn't know 100% yet if she can, like, she wants to talk to Iroh about it, but she's struggling with this concept of, like, well, nobody else can bend two elements. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I shouldn't be able to do this. I'm just going to continue to pretend that I'm a firebender. You know, just, like, panicked because she is incredibly loyal to Zuko and Iroh, but now she is the thing that they are hunting for in her head while she's alongside of them. And she has to, like, struggle with this, like, do I tell them that I'm the thing that they're hunting, or do I not? And when she sees Aang for the first time, she's like, oh, thank God, like, I don't have to. But at the same time, she feels loyalty to Aang because she's like, I know we're kind of similar. So she's trying to also help the gang escape Zuko while simultaneously helping Zuko, while also not telling him that she is technically a form of the Avatar and she has a thing for him. Like, there are so many layers of this, like, pain that this character just goes through that, like, Iroh would need, like, years to unpack, and she's doing this in the equivalent of 3 seasons. Like, you know, just trying to handle what this means, and also, like, wondering if she needs, like, if it's her job, like, if Aang dies, then it's, by all intents and purposes, her job to step up after him and kill Ozai. Like, oh yeah, she is going through a lot. Her mental trauma was because she wouldn't be transparent. Exactly. Just in multiple layers. Because she she doesn't want Zuko to hate her. Her like self-preservation instinct is still in there. She doesn't want Zuko to hate her. She doesn't want to die or be locked up or whatever. Like all those things that they talk about gleefully that they would do to the Avatar in front of her for years. Yeah. Yep. Between her loyalty to Zuko and being the Avatar. And simultaneously, like what is her role in the world if she's not the only Avatar, right? You can easily jump straight to, oh, she should just go and be the Avatar and forget the boy that she cares about, which would be, you know, the grown-up decision to make. But why do that if you don't have to? If there is already another established Avatar that the world accepts as the Avatar, why put yourself in that situation? Why willingly put yourself in that situation if you can just stay quiet, stay in the background like she's been doing all of these years as a waterbender, while having Aang step up and do his role? Kind of like Aang trying to be friends while at the same time understanding that it's almost impossible. Yes, exactly that. So you can see where you see where there's like, I'm like, it was a fan fiction that I wrote as a child, but it's different. Right? Like, would that not be one of the most interesting, like, if you have to pick a fan fiction to read, are you just going to read one where there is another, like, Avatar before Aang or another Avatar after Aang? Or are you going to pick this one, like, in-world that changes really nothing about the main overarching plot of the story, but you just have this character who is trying to do the best that she can? Like, and make sure that everyone ends up happy, that the world gets saved, either through her action or her inaction. And, like, can you imagine trying to master all four elements while you're inside of a ship next to the Fire Prince who is looking for you to ensure that bad things happen to you?
I wonder if there's any penguins around here.
Can you also simultaneously... Aang, you're in the Earth Kingdom, dude. And can you also then imagine the struggle that Zuko would then go through? Realizing that, like, besides Uncle Iroh, that his only best friend that he still cares about from childhood, the person who's been by his side since Luten died, is, like, the key to that happiness, to that home. Like, can you imagine Book 1 Zuko? Or even Book 2 Zuko, when he's, like, going through those fluctuations? Going through that? Like, pre-Ember Island Zuko, can you imagine him just going through that struggle? Of having to decide whether or not to turn in this person to get, like, everything he's ever hoped and dreamed for, to get his honor back? When he's not mentally in a place? Oh, yeah. It would like, you see where I'm going. Like, I thought about everything that this would do. Can you imagine, like, the gang being presented with this concept that there is another Avatar besides Aang? And they don't know whether or not they should trust this person because this person was on a Fire Nation ship hunting them down for a long time. Like, it was already a struggle for them to accept Zuko. But could you imagine if Zuko was another Avatar? When they thought that there could only be one in the world, would that also not make you terrified for Aang's mortality if part of the Avatar spirit already moved on? Like, it would be such an interesting concept, and it would be so terrifying. And I'm also glad that it never happened in the story. Like, in like, the canon. Because the characters would just go through too much, I think. They would have to have another season to resolve all the trauma that would be presented in this. There would be multiple episodes just dedicated to this trauma that I've introduced. But I think it would be perfect. So yeah, when I said that, like, I made up a fan fiction as a kid, something I think that would make it cooler and it would maybe hit harder. Yeah, like, it would provide more complexity. So that's why I was like, when I was a kid, I wrote a fan fiction. But it's not like any other self-insert fan fiction. This is a self-insert fanfiction that is not a Mary Sue or any of that. So yeah, those were... Thank you. I'm glad that, like, I've bared my soul and expressed the Avatar fanfiction I wrote as a child. Like, and by a child, I mean, like, it's like 2006 through, like, what, 2008? When did... Yeah, it would have had to have been, like, somewhere around ending in 2008. So I was in, like, 6th grade and ending in 8th grade. So I am, like, very much a child, but I'm, like, thinking about these complex themes. I appreciate the follow. I'm glad that the fanfiction was worthy of a follow. One of these days I'll actually write a real story, but, like, all the trauma. All the trauma for these kids.